Bruh, when
Hey,
homie pulled, when
and
homie
Rob, give
pulled,
us a countdowns for the
when,
podcast
when
because
homie
he ain't
pulled
gonna
back up, and he looked at Autumn. He was like, Haley, I didn't know what I did. I saw you. Yeah, I was like, what you mean?
and maybe I'll slap you, something like that. I was like, what? I was
You
like,
be in the water where the girls get choked out.
stop. What is wrong? Start the
Yeah.
podcast, Rob. Start the
The
podcast.
way she did him,
No,
bro.
start the podcast, Rob.
She
I'm tired of this.
she told him, and then with his laptop, stole all that information and played his dumb ass. Yo,
Rob,
he didn't even get the fuck for real. Yo, they just got to grind. And he had blue balls like a bitch, and then his wife called. Yo, then his wife.
Rob, start the podcast, man.
We talk about some I just went to the store to get some snacks. Snacks? Snacks?
I don't feel sorry for that dude at all.
Go patches is snacks.
Welcome to another episode of the Purple Pill Podcast. I'm your host, Rob. I'm with my co-host, Darren in LA.
Yo,
How y'all doing today?
fantastic! Get ready for season 2, episode 2 of P Valley. If you haven't watched, you can watch.
Oh, there's
season
only
1.
been one season?
There's only one completed season. Season 2, episode 2 is released tonight.
Oh, the way you're talking about, I thought this shit was like 3-4 seasons deep.
I'm telling you, they just pack so much in seasons.
I don't binge watch anything.
It's so hot.
Okay. Like I can't. You should know. If I talk about it, it's not something that I like.
Oh my god,
But it's a good show. I watched it. It was
man!
I'm excited for episode 2 tonight because episode 1 was lit. There was another part that about to bring up.
You got this. Bring it up. Bring it back. Bring it back. Bring it back. Bring it back.
Surprising homie died.
Which one?
The mayor.
Why? He probably just didn't want to be in that shit no more.
I mean, it's just surprising. But with
Yeah.
that also being said, it's surprising how they setting up this season where this chair, this elected seat that's about to be open.
I like how they did that too, and they made it very relatable with it being the main focus or the setting, backdrop, whatever you want to call it, is that it is during COVID as well. So the show is about a strip club and the hardships they've had living that life in the, I don't want to say sex worker life, but the entertainment industry that they're in. And these girls are hustling. They make money. They're moving. But when COVID hits, you can't really go to the strip club. They can't really do what they do. So now you're seeing them transition to the digital age, and now they're on Instagrams. They have their lives. They have their OnlyFans. Like I like it. It's interesting.
It truly is. It's very interesting.
It's very interesting. But how's your week's been? Cool. Did you go disc golfing this week, Darren?
Yeah, I went disc golfing yesterday.
Oh, how was it?
It would have been better if I would have got full on Friday, but I didn't.
Maybe I got pho on Friday. Why didn't you get pho on Friday?
I just forgot to go. But with that being said, I didn't get full, so I didn't do great. But it's all good. I'm gonna master these new discs that I got, and everything's gonna go good. But it wasn't a bad week.
How many new discs you get?
Multiple, I don't know.
Multiple.
But this one is it's hard to master. I can tell you that. And then the black one just got lost, so I didn't take that one out there. Don't take a black disc to disc golf.
You just gotta learn how to throw it.
Actually, if you're watching this on my IG story, I got some footage from yesterday.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Of you doing great? Yeah.
Yeah,
Of you
honestly,
doing
yeah. Actually, on what you see on the IG story, yeah, it was from me doing great. I didn't end great, but
Rob, Berto,
Yo.
what's up? How was your week?
It was pretty chill, actually. I had a good week. Me and my friends went up to Cleveland for a comedy show this weekend. So that was really fun. We went to go see Tom Segura, and
That name sounds familiar.
he has some pretty funny jokes. He's a pretty funny dude.
Is that the dude who sings?
No, he doesn't sing.
Oh, I'm thinking of someone else then.
But he was really funny. Got to hang out with some of my friends. So it was lit.
We went to a comedy show a couple weeks ago, and they had emerging talent throughout the whole show. And there's this dude. He was too funny to me. He was a heavy set dude, and he said, he got his eating talents or his eating know-how, whatever, from his parents. So he eats a lot of McDonald's because he would eat McDonald's every time his parents argued, and he was like, that's why he got so big. He said his parents weren't always the smartest. He's like, for example, my name's Kyle with a P, and bro, like every person that was on there was very talented, top tiered. We're at the funny moment with Drew and Nicole. It was a great time. Great time.
Funny, but it's fun. We went there a couple times to see like younger artists, younger talents that aren't like as known. And homie, I remember this one guy. I don't know what the fuck he was doing. He just all of a sudden was just on the ground screaming, and everybody was just kind of looking at him. I was like, God damn, dog. I was like, what the fuck? He was just doing his little bit too long. And everybody kind of was just like looking at him.
Hey man, sometimes you gotta learn, right?
Yeah, you gotta test your shit out. That's the one thing I hear the most from comedians is you gotta constantly work on your material. Like a joke might not be funny right now when you're writing it, but like 4 or 5 months from now, after you make changes to it and test it out a couple times, it might be funny.
Make it funny.
It's a very interesting sport, to say the least. Speaking of, did y'all see that Monique like dissed DL Hughley like last week or something like that?
No, I don't care about the modas.
Bro,
What they say?
the way she was coming at him on stage was wild.
What she say to this man?
She was saying
Is there a video of it?
I actually think there is, but I just saw like his reaction back to her. Very professional, if you ask me. But ultimately, he said, "I should have never. Everybody knows to stay away from you. I thought maybe I'll give you a chance."
Hold on.
And
this shit
yeah,
look crazy.
but yeah, it was wild. It was wild. Like a lot of comedians actually reacted to it, and they are hilarious. That's the only reason why I brought it up because every comedian that brought it up was hilarious.
Monique ran into DL Hughley with her husband, and according to this information we received, all hell broke loose.
Damn, Monique, why you tripping?
They say the Goodwill in Hollywood always got some drama going on. Last week they said Lizzo and Countess Vaughn was up there fighting. You got broke celebrities up in Beverly Hills cutting up at the Goodwill, and that's allegedly where Monique ran into DL Hughley. Now, I know y'all heard by now that his daughter was in the news talking real greasy to Monique. But she must ain't know. Monique know greasy better than anybody.
She been frying chicken since she was 12.
Ain't nothing faking about her bacon. Monique sure talk a good game, but ain't nobody ever seen her in the fight.
Probably because she don't know how.
I know D.L. Hughley ain't trying to get into no fight with nobody. Unless he gonna be in the Lion King live musical.
He gonna be Rafiki.
Whoopi Goldberg already played one of them hyenas with them black lips, and Monique and her husband looking like Pumbaa and Timon. Maybe they need to stop all this drama and just do another Lion King movie. I think they need to come together and do something positive for the people.
I did not mean this when I brought
Yo,
this
this is hilarious. He said with the black ass lip, yo.
Oh, they took it down?
Oh,
I'm so motherfucking full right now, baby. When I tell you my heart is goddamn racing, because I'm so proud, I'm so honored to be standing in front of you real motherfuckers. Y'all don't even understand. I'm a traveling motherfucker.
the whole time.
So what do we? Should we start talking shit here?
You think she preaching? Why is this lady finding the Lord?
Bitch, I know it. See, when they called me to come play Detroit and come play the Fox Theater, and I ain't played the Fox Theater in over 20 motherfucking years. I was so goddamn excited. I was so motherfucking excited because I said, oh, a bitch is going back. A bitch is going back to the Fox Theater in motherfucking Detroit.
Darren said, "Fuck all this shit. This is some bullshit."
I really don't want to hear what she has to say about the other people.
They have taught niggas to be so motherfucking fearful and just give it to God. Let go and let God. That's why I kept peeing the shit over and over and over again. So I said, well, let me let the shit go and let me give it to God. And you know what God did? He gave it right the fuck back.
Darren, so let's talk about this. You think God gave it right the fuck back?
I don't know what she's talking about. So let's go ahead and fast forward this.
That's what the fuck it is. But they're so used to niggas fucking around with the contract and being nervous because they might lose an opportunity or a motherfucking chance. So they won't redo the contract. I'm not a bitch who's going to redo the contract. If you sign the motherfucker, that's what the motherfucker is. So
I think she signed the contract.
Wait, so did Monique just drop a pipe bomb on DL Hoolie? That's what it sounded like.
Essentially, what she was trying to say was something about the contract. It had nothing to do with them. She signed that contract. Her and her husband negotiated that contract.
Oh, so she's just popping on for like kind of no reason.
And for no reason going that deal.
See, Detroit, because I would feel less than a motherfucking woman if I didn't let y'all know what the fuck was going on this stage right now. So if my energy is a little different, nigga, because they got me fucked up.
Fast forward.
They got me fucked up. And you think
I didn't get this bitch, man. I can watch get my stuff from.
No, for the queens of comedy, nigga. And you think that I don't have a dick, that ain't my position, nigga. The motherfucking contract said that a bitch is the headliner. The headliner. Let me say it again. The headliner. That's what the motherfucking contract says. Monique is to be the last motherfucking person on the goddamn stage. She is the headliner. That's what I signed the fuck up for. I'm 30 plus years in this motherfucking business, and I don't open for no goddamn body. The contract said the headliner. The contract said the headliner. The contract said the headliner. But a nigga named D.L. turned into a bitch and said, I won't perform and she does that. D.L. turned into a bitch and said, I won't perform and she does that.
I don't know what that bitch. I don't know what she just said.
I don't know what when he does that.
But a nigga named D.L. turned into a bitch and said, I won't perform and she does that. Won't go if she does that. Nigga, you open for the kings of comedy. I close for the queens of comedy, nigga.
Damn, she really getting her shit on.
But it wasn't. But bro, that's the thing. If you go now, that's why you need to see for this because it's really nothing else. But if you go to what DL was saying, she signed a contract. The contract, actually, there you go. That's the breakdown.
All right, that was Khalid talk. I work very hard to control the environment I work in comedically. I only work where I want to work and who I want to work for. I want to work with. I don't work because that is a very precious place to me. I've been offered a gig, a couple of gigs, 3 or 4 gigs to work with Monique in LA, in Brooklyn, in Houston, and I turned them down because I didn't think it would work. So after talking to a lot of people, and one of the very people in this room about how things are different, 2 of the very people in this room, as a matter of fact, and how things are different, and look at how things are coming around. I decided it would be wrong for me not to give somebody a chance based on things that they'd never done to me. That would have been wrong to me. And when she talks, and she goes on her diatribe, and she talks about me having my feet under her table, that was at her invitation. I was doing a gig in Greenbelt, Maryland. She lived in Baltimore. She was having a fight party. It was
Greenbelt.
Evander Holyfield and Mike
Be
Tyson.
more.
And sure enough, I came to her table at her invitation, and it was a wonderful time. As a matter of fact, it was based on that interaction. Along with
443,
talking to
baby.
people, I decided that I would do these gigs. I decided I would do it.
Morning
And
person.
now I know
Yeah,
what
be
Tyler
more.
Perry knows. I know what Lee Daniels knows. I know what Oprah knows. I know what Steve Harvey knows. I know what Charlamagne the God knows. I know what Netflix knows. Saying yes to Monique is an occupational hazard. Now, we're playing a gig in Detroit this weekend. I know I'm going on at 9:45. I leave the hotel. I get there around 9. Monique had just gotten there. She's supposed to be there at 8:40. She had just gotten there, gone at 8:40. She got there at 8:38. What Monique was trying to do was to slow walk the show. She didn't end up getting on for 30 minutes. The oldest trick in the world is, if I want to change the order and I don't have merit, I'll try to make people wait so long that everybody gets nervous and go, please just go on so we can avoid a conflict. That didn't happen. Monique got on stage. Monique actually felt like she had merit. She would have done one of three things. Either she would have took it up with the promoter, and she did, and the promoter said, we're going on, and whether you go on or not, that's a different thing. You would have not done it, but she knew she had to get on stage, or she would have been in breach of contract, or she would have come to talk to me. She didn't ever, and I emphatically emphasize this, she never once talked to me. I haven't seen Monique in years. I didn't see her at the venue before, after, or during. I haven't spoken or seen Monique. So if you really thought that you had a legitimate contract dispute, you would have come to me and said, hey, I have this contract and you had this contract. Notice not one thing on that contract, not one person she has on that contract, not one thing happened. Do you know why? Because it wasn't legitimate. And she goes on stage and she proceeds to eviscerate me. Not just me, but Steve Harvey, the sexual, my wife, my dog later on in subsequent conversation. Let me ask you something. What did any of that have to do with an alleged contract dispute? What did Steve Harvey have to do with your contract? What did I have to do with your contract? What did my dog have to do with your contract? What does my wife have to do with your contract? You wrote your contract, you and your daddy. You proceeded to say things that were so patently insulting that it was galling. It was galling. You asked in subsequent conversations why I have a dog, a support dog. What kind of person has a support dog? I have that dog because my father died. My children and family decided they would get a dog from where he was from, and I named the dog after my father. I don't have a dog to keep people away from me. I have a dog so I have my father with me all the time. That is an act of love which you know very little about. You proceeded to assault my sexuality. You have the temerity to assault someone's sexuality, a man's sexuality, given who you lay next to. None of that had anything to do with alleged contract dispute. You could have taken that up with a lawyer. You would have gotten out. You could have not gone on stage, but you knew you didn't have a valid contract. And you do what you always have done. You tried to weaponize black femininity. You tried to turn that audience against me. You tried to burn everything down. Like you do all the time. Who calls Netflix and thinks I can get $10 million because I did the Queens of Comedy? Who thinks you can get on stage and still live off that? I was a king of comedy. You never hear me talking about it because in this business, like any other, it isn't what you have done, it's what you do. That show was one I signed on to do. I made the quintessential mistake, the horrible mistake that like Tyler Perry, like Lee Daniels, like Oprah, like all these people of saying yes to you. And it is an occupational hazard. It is my fault. I have learned my lesson. You didn't just, and the thing that bothers me the most isn't the things that you said, because I know who I am and I know what I do. And I have a pristine reputation. And everybody who knows me know what I'm about. It's this whole, my dear, my babies, I love you for real, which is so transparently false, it is ridiculous. But the thing that was really the most annoying, the thing that was really the most bothersome, is after a terrible couple of weeks where people were being slain in Buffalo, where people were being slain, kids are getting slain in school, and people had come to a comedy show to get away from all of their problems, you besieged them with yours. The one contract that isn't in dispute is the one that the audience had with us to entertain them. But every single time, more and more, you spend half of your time talking about your grievances and what you didn't get and who did this to you. Listen, when you burn things up and you sit back to watch the results of them, she's literally set that stage on fire. said the most incendiary things ever, and I had to go on stage. And she has the temerity to call me a coward. A coward would have left. A coward would have said, I can't go. You didn't even want to go on when you had a contract that you knew that not to be true. You made up this whole narrative that you knew not to be true, and you played that out in front of the audience. And then I had to go on behind you. And you know what you did? You sat back and you tried to watch your damage. You set the stage on fire and you watched what you've done. You know who does that? Arsonists do that. Arsonists set shit on fire and try to see the damage it drops. But I blame myself because I know now what I didn't before.
I blame myself.
Occupational hazard.
Damn.
I will not repeat. I don't blame you. I wish you well.
I don't blame you. That's how you know a nigga. I don't blame you. I blame myself. Yo.
That's my fault.
Literally.
Damn.
Yeah,
You called her
that's-
real life Precious mother.
You called her what? Oh,
have you seen Precious? And she's her mother.
That movie's hard.
Yeah, she said that's who you are in real life.
Yo. That's fucking sick. You didn't have to say that. Yeah, he
didn't
was.
say nothing funny on the stage.
He took the high road till that moment. Just then. Now he doesn't have the high road.
He's
a
smart
comedian.
though, man. He's smart.
He took the high road.
That's true.
He took the high road.
Yeah, but he's right though. Remember when she went off on Charlemagne on his show?
And she got mad at Netflix because she wanted $10 million for a special because Dave Chappelle got whatever he got for the Netflix specials.
He got $3 million for two.
Bro.
And she wanted $10 million for one? And they said hell no?
Yeah, like nah.
Because they was like, you gotta do shit, Monique. Precious was 10 years ago.
I have two questions for y'all.
Just go on a
2010, 2012.
I have two questions for y'all.
That wasn't comedy.
Can you all name all four kings of comedy?
No, I don't know who they are.
Steve.
Yep.
Bernie Mac.
Yep.
Cedric.
Yep.
And DL.
Can you name all four queens of comedy?
No.
I don't know the kings of comedy, so no.
LA, it's a stand-up special. It's actually fantastic. It's fantastic. It was actually really well done. You should go check it out if you haven't.
So the queens would
the kings of comedy. That shit was fantastic.
Oh, but who would the queens be? Is
We're about to find out.
Oh, the one lady with the bald head, was she funny as shit?
Oh, the Lou whatever. No, she's not one. Son Moore. I know her from Cat Williams.
I'm just being honest though. I would go there for some more and everybody besides Monique.
No really, I think Monique's actually a really funny comedian when she's actually telling jokes.
I never really found her too funny.
I always thought she was really funny, like in movies.
So it's the same thing.
No, I think she's really good
in
at
movies and acting, yes, but actually,
I've never seen her stand up, so I don't know.
I always heard Monique was always a diva. Like when she goes to restaurants and shit, she treats the wait staff badly. I've heard that like a lot.
No idea.
Better, I would too.
Yeah, shit. Don't talk about Monique like that. Let's do topics, man. Because Darren done derailed us for 40 minutes. We only got 10 minutes left of the podcast.
I'll fight y'all.
All right, here we go.
All right.
So go ahead.
So there was a unfortunate event over the past couple of days where there's a man who was in the Phoenix Cricket store. He assaulted the worker, took her phone, wallet, and some cash. Later, when he was turned in by his mother, they found out that he took that money to buy fentanyl and meth. The mother turned him in, explained to them that he is schizophrenic and has been refusing to take his medicine and has been out of control. So now they're saying he is mentally ill, but this woman is saying he's just evil. It has nothing to do with being mentally ill. So we can watch this video. It's pretty quick. And then we can
Valley man is behind bars tonight after a brutal attack on a cell phone store worker, and it was his own mother who turned him in. Tonight, we are hearing from the victim who says that she was scared for her life. And Fox 10's Stephanie Bennett is live with her incredible story,
Oh,
Stephanie,
this is
of
not the video.
survival. Again, this video is...
Oh, yep, nope, this is the video. Here we go. You're right. This
Yeah,
is
it is such a heartbreaking story. Maria Coronado says she saw the suspect watching.
Hold on, you're gonna have to go.
Came in and allegedly attacked her, all caught on camera. It's going to be hard to watch some of these video clips, but she says what bothers her the most is that this may have been prevented.
You could just hear me screaming. It just breaks my heart that no matter what I did, I pled with him. Like I even told him like I was pregnant just to see if maybe with that he would stop, and he didn't. He just kept on going and going and going.
Maria Coronado recalls the terrifying night she was attacked at the Cricket Wireless store off 43rd Avenue and Beth.
Yeah.
Bro, he's stomping her. That shit's crazy.
Yeah, nobody wants to.
So after all this, he steals the money and everything, and then they continue going, right?
Home Road. Police say.
Go ahead.
You could just fast forward. You could just it's done. The video's done. She's out of there. So you can turn the volume on, because this is the part that we need to see here.
Your nose bones, and obviously my face has a lot of trauma to it.
She tells Fox 10 that Cook was a regular customer. She was working alone and saw Cook looking inside the store several times before the attack. She was afraid he would kill her if she fought back.
It was evil. He knew what he was doing. This was premeditated. He came like 4 times the whole day just seeing if there was customers, if I was alone. On Wednesday, he literally told the manager, "I'm going to come back and kill you."
She managed to run away and call police at a neighboring business. Cook was arrested a few days later. Coronado claims no one called police about his prior threats.
If they would have said something, they probably would have caught him, and this wouldn't have happened.
The suspect's mother told police he had.
Bro, look how hot it is, dog. This just is 105 degrees.
Shut up. Well, this is the part where his mom was saying.
Hadn't been taking his schizophrenia medication. According to police paperwork, when Cook heard voices in his head telling him to kill himself, he took his anger out on Coronado. Paperwork shows he admitted to stealing 3 phones and selling 2 of them for fentanyl and meth.
I don't want to go back. It's just scary. Like, we can't be alone. Like.
Now, we did reach out to Cricket Wireless for a statement late tonight, but have not heard back yet. For now, Coronado says that she has a GoFundMe set up to help pay for some of her medical expenses. We're going to have a link to that on our website at fox10phoenix.com. Guys, back to you.
You guys want to donate to that?
I was going to say, hopefully we can get the link up for people as well after watching.
So not only is it 105 degrees, but this woman is willingly
indoors these days. Count yourself lucky.
Yeah, no doubt. Working
for maybe minimum wage, and then this shit happens, right? So thoughts. Let's just start with thoughts.
Automatically, it could have been avoided. That shit could have been avoided, but also it is an excessive heat warning.
Rob, thoughts? What do you think about what you just saw?
Maybe, bro. Maybe it's just hot.
Yeah.
What?
That's what you got from this?
He was wearing a black shirt. Maybe he just got really hot, bro. And him taking his pills didn't like go well with it. Not taking any like thing away from her, but I don't know, bro. That's hot weather.
So my thoughts for this is, it is unacceptable that this poor person is doing their job and is just out of nowhere, just with no regard, just assault. She screamed, "I'm pregnant," and this dude started to kick her.
Well, he probably thought she was lying at that point.
I think
regardless, if someone screams, "I'm pregnant," you're going to pause. Like what? Come on, man.
I would say at the very least, and I personally think that nigga should be in jail. But at the very least, that nigga needs to be locked into a mental mental place, because it's either that or jail for him.
This man said he heard voices in his head to kill himself and took it out on her. There was
Yeah.
at no point in time this man couldn't call his psychiatrist, call his mother, admit himself, call the cops.
If you have that much mental instability, I doubt you're thinking that logically.
So you're just gonna go to the cricket store 5 times and wait till no one's there and stomp her out? No, get the fuck out of here.
Maybe you're trying to get a phone call.
Get the fuck. That motherfucker wanted meth,
Yeah.
and she was an easy target. That's
Yeah.
all it was. And you know, it's disgusting that people use mental instabilities and mental sickness to do these things. Like it.
I think if that's the case, it would be more sick that the family is covering for him to say that that is mental.
It's
I don't think that's sick at
regardless
all,
of who
Darren. I
it
think
is.
that's a natural. I think that's natural. That's your baby boy. That's something that you pushed out of you.
No,
That's
nope. I'll
disgusting.
tell you straight up. I'll tell you
That's
straight up. My
disgusting.
mom told me that I ain't going to jail for nobody.
Nobody.
I'm not visiting nobody.
My mom answered the phone.
My mom
She was like, "Who is this?" Oh, I don't know nobody in jail.
Yep, exactly. Like that. I don't know what. Like I don't know what you talking
Ooh.
about, bro.
Nah,
I don't know. I don't know what you talking about, bro.
my baby
mom-
upstairs.
You better get your ass down here before they break this door down. Because if they break this door down, you gotta worry about me. Like, bro, I promise you, my mom.
He'll be right out.
Yeah, give him. Trust me, 10 seconds or less. Hands up.
30 seconds. The hell? Oh, that's disgusting, bro. Like, and there are really people out here suffering with mental instabilities and mental illness, and they look at things like this and they don't want to be labeled as crazy, as insane, as murderers, and they don't let people know, and they're suffering with this. And I don't know. I don't enjoy it. I feel strongly for her. Like you guys said, if the GoFundMe is up there, I would like to put it on this episode.
Exactly.
Because that poor woman is going to be scarred with this for the rest of her life. Her even going to get another job will be almost impossible. God forbid if she has children's support, because now she's going to have to carry this with her at any minimum wage fucking job she's going to have to do. If she has to do a minimum wage job.
I feel sorry for her. Like she said, it could have been avoided. At first, I thought she just meant like, yeah, there could have been. When they first said that at the front of the video, I thought they meant like, oh, it could just been security at the front. But no, this guy was threatening and walking back and forth for multiple hours. And
If somebody tell me, and I'm a manager, I'll come back and kill you. Oh, it's all right.
We're automatically getting the police.
You don't leave. Hold the fuck on. Come back.
We're getting the police report on you automatically.
You're not about to leave the store and go grab some switch and come back. No, we gotta come. We gotta settle this now. And another subject at hand with all this gun violence going on. Would this be a topic to have gun violence conversations on? Like, if you're alone in a store with electronics and hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of merchandise, you should don't even. Let's get there later. But you know, there's hiring
That's a
restraints.
tough argument. That's a tough argument.
There should be 2 people in that store at all times. There's no reason for that.
I think you could argue more for having like a police person there than actually giving the employees access to guns. I can see if it's like a mom and pop shop,
Police, sure.
But if it's like a chain store like that, there should be like a police officer or somebody type of person like that in there.
At the pawn, at any pawn stop, they have the pawn stop stores are there. They have concealed carry. Gas stations have concealed carries. Why would Cricket Wireless? I'm there by myself. The same way I am at a gas station. I can get robbed at any point in time, and we have thousands of dollars here.
At the very least, like I said, she shouldn't have been there.
We have 200 iPhone 13s in the back. What the fuck? I'm not trying to go out like this. I'm trying to do my job and feed my family at $14 an hour.
And on top of it, it's hot.
108 degrees.
Like Rob said, bro. And it's about to get even hotter. Like this week coming up. I'm happy that this got reminded because it's about to get almost 100 degrees here. So on the West Coast, you know they're about to be like if you gotta be in shape for real.
Get an egg on the sidewalk.
At the very least. Yeah, so the only reason why I say that is because people don't know how to act in heat.
Yeah.
People don't know how to act.
So on a lighter note, let's get to Dave Chappelle and see him speaking facts and see if y'all agree or disagree. Now this is going to have disclaimers around it. It is a wild topic. Get ready.
Which topic? Because he talks about transgender.
You'll hear. You'll hear it. Don't ruin it for people.
Okay, say LeBron James changed his gender. You know what I mean? Okay, can he stay in the NBA, or because he's a woman, does he have to go to the WNBA where he will score 840 points a game? What does it actually mean to be equal? You know what I mean? Like, women are actually equal to men, then there would be no WNBA, would there? You would just be good enough to play in the NBA with us. Or, here's another idea that's going to be very controversial. You could shut the fuck up.
Dave Chappelle's a clown, man. But thoughts?
First off, the LA, you gotta watch the whole thing, man. It's amazing.
I
It's
will
really
watch
fucking
the
good.
whole thing.
I think he has like at this point 4 or 5 comedy specials on Netflix, so you gotta watch them. They're really good. As far as that goes, man, he's not wrong. And
But in sports in general is what I'm.
well, so I'm glad you brought that up too, because in MMA, there's a transgender person that that transferred from a male to a female, and now she's fighting female fighters, and she's literally out here breaking bitches' skulls open. And most intelligent people would say, no, you shouldn't be able to fight other females because you have a distinct advantage over them. You're really a man fighting a woman. You're literally breaking these women's skulls open. So yeah, man, I don't think you should be able to play in the
if transgender, or you should have to play as your birth gender.
You have to play as your birth gender, but it's a little bit different because it's a fighting sport and it's a physical sport like that. Where basketball, yes, there's still a distinct physical advantage, but yeah, man, you would have to play as your birth gender per se.
I just personally feel sorry for the female athletes. I'll probably be the first person to tell you I don't like female combat sports at all. So when I hear shit like that, I'm just like, that shit really sick me. But just talking about like where we brought it up multiple episodes before, people are getting their scholarships yanked because the transgender person is just better because they have a distinct advantage. And I don't know. I feel sorry for shit like that.
What do you mean better? You gotta explain that.
In the sense that they have to get stronger, faster. Like what was it, rowing or something like that?
Okay, got you.
It was, I forgot which team it was for.
I got you.
Yeah, sports scholarships. And I'm just not with that. People work too fucking hard for that shit. I don't know.
But don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that transgenders shouldn't be able to play sports, but we just gotta if you're transferring from a man to a woman, you shouldn't be allowed to play with the women. That's all I'm saying. I think that you have a distinct physical advantage over them, and it's just I just kind of find it wrong, man.
Then, should we have a transgender league?
Cool.
I don't think we need to even do that. Like, this will be kind of controversial. Do gays watch enough sports to support a whole transgender league?
Oh,
I don't think only gay the league itself would be.
But is it going to be funded properly enough for people to care about it?
I don't personally watch the WNBA, but I'm sure there are people who would watch it.
I do.
But do you think they would care about it enough to like be able to support it?
I don't know who we're categorizing as they.
The transgender community, the LGBTQ plus community.
They are a large and very vast community that has a lot of support across the whole spectrum. So I think it would do decently. Personally, I'm not saying everybody would watch it every Sunday or anything, but I think it would have traction. I think that it would be acceptable. I think it would be something to think about. I don't know how well it would do.
Because LA, you get into like a business argument. Because like, let's say a transgender football league. Look at all these other football leagues that popped up over the years to try to compete with the NFL. It's really hard to compete with the NFL and still be able to make money to keep your league going. So my first question to that is, are you guys going to be able to keep this going to support it? Which makes me think, no, you guys should just be in like the NFL. Like if a transgender man said, hey, I'm a woman now, but he still wants to play fucking receiver for the Green Bay Packers, I think that's fine. Why not? But for a man to go play in a woman's sport after they transgendered and when they have a clear, distinct advantage, I think that's kind of wrong.
Okay, that's fair.
As for having their own league, I personally think that's not a bad idea. It's just a matter of all of the leagues actually getting people that want to compete in them. Like how do I put this? How many transgender people are actually going to be in the UFC? Then,
You, I
then
don't know.
I don't know either. But then we got to get into weight classes after we get into that. And I'm not saying that's an impossible thing, but then you got to do that for basketball. Then you have to do that for soccer.
But
Then
you
you
know,
have to do that for
there's a
baseball.
lot of people in the world who may want to do this, but feel like they don't have the ability. And if they had, I don't want to say if they had their own league, but if the league or there was a league that was more accepting, maybe they would want to contribute more. You never know. There could be somebody who transgendered into a woman, but they are really fucking good at basketball.
Then I agree with Rob. I agree with Rob. What's wrong with you going to play in the NBA? I don't have a problem with you going to play in the NBA.
Because that has a stigma. It's for boys, and they identify as a woman.
There is no such thing as the NBA saying men's only men's national.
Where's there a
So,
woman?
LA.
Only in the
It's
NBA?
national
LA.
basketball.
So when Brittany Griner was coming out for college,
Yeah.
Mark Cuban said he will be willing to spend a second round pick on her. So women can apply to be in the NBA. They just choose not to.
Then why
it's
is
gonna
the
be harder.
WNBA? Then what is the WNBA?
Specifically for women.
So then I don't understand this argument.
I'm
The
saying-
NBA is de facto exclusively
I'm
for men.
saying, I'm
No, it's
saying
not. That's not
I'm
true.
saying I'm not doing women. I'm talking about
If there's one for women's exclusively, then there has to be one exclusively for men. That's how exclusivity works.
It's not exclusive though. A woman can play in the NBA.
Can
They
a
ju-
man play in the WNBA?
No.
Then it is exclusive.
But
And
the
for
NBA
it to
is
be
not.
exclusive, there has to be something else against
He's
it.
saying the W. He's saying the NBA.
If the WNBA is exclusive, that means the NBA as well. If women can only do it in this one,
They can do both. Women can technically do both. You just have to get drafted or somebody would have to sign you. Most women just choose not to. LeBron cannot go to the WNBA. Like there's no choice for LeBron to go to the WNBA. Does that make sense?
I'm just trying to keep it that it's
yes,
transgender people.
I can understand that LeBron cannot go to the WNBA. I can understand that, and
But
I can
Brittany
understand.
Griner, if she wanted to, could go to the NBA.
And I understand that we're saying it could happen, but it's not happening. It has never happened, and it probably will never happen because there are two exclusive systems. If the WNBA did not need to be created, then I would believe that the NBA is not an exclusive system.
I'm trying to keep it on the topic of if transgender. If you're a trans woman, right? Trans woman, and you want to play in the NBA, and like you said, you have the ability. I don't think there's a person that really has a problem with playing in the NBA.
And that's what I'm trying to explain is because of these two different gender binary roles that we have, man and woman, with the WNBA being exclusively for women. If I now identify as a woman, but I want to play in the NBA, I'm now saying what?
You're gonna be the first woman to play in the NBA. That's what
You're
you're
more.
saying.
Essentially, what you're saying is you're comfortable being a woman, but you know that you can ball with every other male in the NBA. That's all. That's what you were saying to me. I don't have a problem with that.
Okay.
If you're comfortable being a trans woman, great, do that. Well, no, do what you got to do. But then if you're great enough to play in the NBA, go ahead and compete.
Okay. Let's say I'm okay. I'm a transgender woman now, but I have the game. I'm the best basketball player out there. I'm as big as LeBron, and I know I can take it, right?
Yeah.
But now, it's day one. I'm at camp. Now what? Like that's what I'm trying to express to you is
You
like
go hoop. What you mean? Like what do you mean?
there's
It's your job.
that stigma. There's gonna be people on that team like, bro, I'm not hooping with this person, and that's what's gonna happen because there's a stigma.
I think. Well, first things first. I don't think that's the truth.
Niggas is gonna be like, fucking contract. I'm not hooping with you.
No. I don't think most men are like that. I think most men are like, I don't. I think most men are like, I don't want to be in the locker room with you. But if
That's teamwork.
but how many times have you been on? No, fuck that shit. How many times have you been on? You've been to like going to like some like going to the Y, or going to the basketball court, and the somewhere. I've played with women all the time before, right?
You're right.
It wouldn't be no different of just being like, get open. I don't care. I'm throwing you the ball.
You're right.
I
In a
personally
perfect
I think basketball is a different sport.
in a perfect world, you're right. But then you get to locker rooms. Now we have two separate locker rooms.
Me and my life. No disrespect. Because
Now,
what makes you more comfortable is not going to be around a whole bunch of men.
all right. Now you just got dunked on by a transgender,
Then I'm probably getting clowned by a lot of people.
and you're getting clowned by a lot of people.
Who
And
gives a
I'm just saying, I don't know if the world's ready for that mix. The same way how there's a WNBA, I in my mind would feel like introducing it by giving
them their own league?
not. I don't want to say them their own league. It sounds fucked up when I say it that way.
But that's
like
what you're trying
segregation.
to say. That's what you're trying to say. All right, fair. While you're
I
trying
don't know how
to
to
say
say it.
while you're trying to say that, I'm more comfortable with them being in the NBA.
Or
If
the
you're
WNBA.
no. I'm more comfortable with trans women
Then they might as
being
well have
in
their
the
own.
NBA because if you're able to ball with them,
Yeah.
you can ball with the greatest. Women have their own league.
But
Period.
now I'm a woman. I want to play with the women. I don't want to play with LeBron. See?
It's not the way it works. It's not
That's
the way it works.
how
Yeah,
about
I'm
we
not
make a
going for that shit
league?
either.
It's not the way it works.
How
It's
about
not
there's
the
a
way-
league that is
I'm not putting the health of the whole women's league against you.
so why is the
No, I think that's a little unfair.
I
The
just
health?
don't
What do you mean
know.
by the health? Because it's not
Somebody's-
like a fighting sport like boxing
Yeah.
or UFC or MMA. That's like
Just
that's
dunk
actually
every
she literally cracked somebody's skull open.
Do you
You're just gonna be
honestly think-
way more physically
so,
dominated.
Do you think that there's a woman in the league? No disrespect. I watch a lot of WNBA. Do you think that there's a woman point guard the size of Kyle Lowry that can take the charges that Kyle Lowry take underneath the basket?
From
No.
another woman or from a man? What are we doing? Well, Kyle Lowry's not a man, so that's an disproportionate
Wait, what?
comparison. Or whatever woman will not be the size
There's
of
a
Kyle Lowry.
trans woman in the league that's
A
going to be
trans
coming
woman.
down and dunking the likes of LeBron. Kyle Lowry stays in front and takes that. He'll get the charge. I watch a lot of WNBA. We're not about to say that there's a woman in the league that takes those types of charges.
Is the woman going to be the same size as Kyle Lowry? Is that what you're?
Yeah, you
Oh,
can say that.
I think she
You
can take
say
it.
big, you need to say
She
a little
can probably take it then.
Bro, honestly, Darren, depending on her skill set, I
She
can't
can take it.
like if she's a guard, she'll probably be like in that Steph tier where she's a defensive liability. You just gotta hope that she's like an offensive juggernaut. That's what you're gonna be at the hope for.
I'm saying if there's a never mind. Look,
But like, I'm
You know what
not
I'm saying?
saying
But
just
you
the
understand what I'm saying?
basketball.
Like Steph, Trey Young, they're smaller guards that really aren't known for their defensive physicality that play in like a big man's league. So you have to be kind of an offensive juggernaut if you're her to get away with that.
Well, I'm
Is
not even just saying exclusively to basketball, like soccer, hockey, like all the sports. Like until everybody's able to just be cool with fluid gender rules and everything, then
bruh, if there is a trans woman that wants to play hockey and wants to, you are great.
what if you were a man and then you found out you wanted to be a woman, but you still fucking love hockey?
You go
Like,
play hockey.
all right, but maybe those people aren't really comfortable with them playing hockey, or maybe you're not comfortable, or maybe the world's not ready. But
So-
until that point,
So are you saying you're afraid for the homophobic behaviors of the locker room?
not even just the locker room. I just feel like let's be honest. The people who, let's for example say hockey. The people who go to hockey games aren't necessarily always very nice all the time.
Nobody's nice at any.
Like hockey, football, people get drunk, people do things. Like I feel like
You gotta stop saying
So,
football.
so you,
okay.
it sounds
I
like
just feel like there needs to be a maybe it can be for everybody. Maybe not just maybe instead of it just being for transgenders or LGBTQ people, it's for everybody. Let's have a league for everybody. If we had a league for everybody, completely
So-
inclusive, I'd be down.
That's not the way
LA.
it
So here's the
works.
thing. Technically, the leagues are for everybody. Just historically, women aren't good enough at the sports to be at that professional level.
But now we have transgender people that are now physically capable of playing. They are allowed to play. That's
In
what I'm
theory,
hearing on this
yes.
podcast.
As
what we're
long as
saying.
as long as the team thinks you're good enough and to sign you and put money behind you, yes.
I prefer you play with the men instead of the women.
And they're allowed to be a part of the team 100% in that locker room. They're allowed to be at team meetings. They're allowed to be uh, everything that everybody else is allowed to be in.
Yes, everything.
The locker room is a different beast, dog. I'm sorry.
So they're just gonna have to build a new locker room for the one transgender person on the team.
I don't know what to tell you, dog.
So they're just gonna be isolated.
I don't know what to tell you. I truly don't know what to tell you because y'all. It was already a big thing when they stopped letting the reporters in the locker room because the women reporters were getting harassed in men locker rooms. So we're like, I don't think that's gonna just all of a sudden let's make it an all inclusive locker room all of a sudden. It's not gonna. I don't think it happens like that.
And I don't think building another locker room is that crazy.
I don't think so either. These are billionaire owners.
We're gonna see. So when we go to the halftime in the locker room, I'm just gonna be on Zoom while coach is in the locker room with y'all.
I think it was specifically talking about when they're changing and getting like ready before the game and after the game.
I'm just asking. I was just asking because
hey,
I'm
no,
not allowed in this locker room, but now I'm allowed to be here.
You're allowed to come in here, but you don't get changed in here. That's why.
Yeah.
You can get the game plan in here, but you can't get changed because no, I'm sorry. I'm not taking.
I could go out there and take a hit at 80 miles an hour for you, but I can't get changed in here.
Yeah, but LA, same thing. If there was a female
changed outside around the whole crowd in front of everybody, you'll have your own spot.
LA, same thing. If there was females on the team, have you ever seen like there's females? There'd be like one female on like the wrestling team in like high school, middle school. They get their own locker room to change in. They go to their female locker room so they can change. They're not going to change with the boys. Same thing.
See, I think we're very much more mature for this conversation than a lot of most Americans. I think a lot of people are like, fuck that shit, don't have them in our league.
No, like seriously.
If you're good enough, go ahead, but play with the guys if you're good enough.
I can totally see Boston fans, New York fans, Philadelphia fans chatting gay slurs.
Oh, yeah, they'll be going crazy, bro. And that's not cool. Like,
it's not cool, but it's realistic.
They say the N-word in Utah. They say the N-word in Boston. Shit ain't fair. This is America.
Never heard it.
They got the right to say shit.
I've never heard it.
But
they say it's underneath the floors. It's built in, the racism in Boston Garden.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You know that little leprechaun? He probably just says the N-word like 10 times a day so he can get his powers.
That's fucked up. Anyway, like I said, I think we're more mature for this conversation than the rest of America.
Yeah, most Americans would just be like, just homophobic slurs. I don't know.
Or
you remember how they acted to?
There's also the people that's on the left that would be like, no, we deserve all of it. We deserve to play wherever we want. I would say, no.
Well, that's what we have right now, right? You said the NBA is for everybody, right? The NFL's for everybody. Anybody can play there.
They think they should be able to play in the WNBA.
And you know,
I don't believe that.
I don't think there should be a WNBA. I think everybody should play together.
Women would never have their own.
They would never,
The Flash. And I like the WNBA. I think they could do a better job marketing it, but I think they're doing a pretty good job recently.
In their defense, though, they over the past year and a half, they've actually started marketing it way better. They have commercials. You see more WNBA players in commercials and promoting things like that. Where like 3-4 years ago, I didn't hear anything about the WNBA on ESPN unless it was like some type of controversy. You might have your Brittany Grinders of the world here and there, but you really don't see them promoted that well.
Got Stewart, Skylar Diggins, everybody.
All right, y'all ready for this next video?
I think. I don't know. I really don't know.
So I got some rare footage here that I wanted to show you guys.
What?
That's what I said.
The dude just dipped out.
This isn't real.
Can't be. There's no blood gushing out of his head. Unless bullets didn't work that way back then. I don't know.
That's
So
crazy. That's how one of our presidents got assassinated.
one of y'all presidents.
One of y'all presidents.
He just went out like that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Somebody just walked up behind him and glack, glack, glack.
Yeah, I think the guard was asleep or something.
Yeah.
The guard was asleep or something. What's fucking crazy is that Abraham Lincoln survived for like 8 hours
Yeah.
after getting shot in the head. It was, I don't know if it was 8 hours, but it was a good amount of time. I couldn't imagine. That's just excruciating pain. I couldn't imagine. They said it was. No, I'm getting him mixed up with JFK too. Because JFK's wow. I actually just found out McKinley also got shot.
Who?
President McKinley.
Which president was he?
He was what number?
Yes.
38.
Hmm.
I have no idea. I have no idea.
I was like, that seems kind of recent.
I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I really don't know. But because he got shot, Teddy Roosevelt became president. That's how I said
Daddy.
Just watched this documentary, which was a very interesting documentary. You know what's so great about these documentaries is one thing they don't shy about. They will say that the president didn't do much for black people. They will say it in a heartbeat. They'll be like, yeah, so this is how they felt about black people, and but he didn't really do nothing. I was like, dang. Also, there's like an extremely famous picture of Teddy Roosevelt, and like a zoomed in version of it is like pretty much the whole white militia, maybe like some Native Americans. Like the actual like it's like a whole bunch of black people on the side. Wow. Rough Riders. But anyway, he was a wild president, I will say that. They say he's the first celebrity president.
You know about Teddy.
I watched the documentary recently, and it was very interesting.
All right. So I wanted to end with something for the young folks. So this is Dick Gregory, and his advice to young African Americans.
Don't make the mistake that most of your mothers and fathers made. When I wake up in the morning, my prayers, and I thank God I woke up, the Ku Klux Klan woke up this morning. The drug pushers woke up this morning. I thank God that I made another 24 hours in the most vicious, nasty, hateful, insane nation that's ever existed with my wits, without hating, without being bitter, without being mean. And I thank God that I survived 24 hours in that type of atmosphere with the type of amusement and friendliness. And so I would say to young folks, don't be in a state of denial of the racism and sexism, but don't let that block you. Don't teach your children that you have to be twice as good as a white. That's an awful thing to teach a child. That's like saying because you're black, white America has a right to change your dollar for 94 cents. But we used to get 50 cents, and before that we used to get nothing. Young folks have to say, we don't want more change for a dollar. Excuse me, we want a full dollar's change for a dollar, or this cash register will never ring again.
Yes.
I would also like for young blacks to understand that about 83% of all employment happen with small businesses. And excuse me, if you don't have a small business, then you have nobody to work for you. And I would say to young blacks, get into entrepreneurship. We will never catch up with white America till we get into business, because there's a thing called tax write-offs. And if you have a job and come together, 10 of you, and open up a corporation and have somebody run it, you hiring somebody to run it, but you have tax write-offs. 98% of people that fly first class on airplanes would not be there if that wasn't a write-off. And yet, on that first class, they gave away last year $800 million, almost $1 billion of free whiskey. But if a welfare mother asked for some apple juice for the baby, she's laughed at. And so I would say entrepreneurship, and then understand that we will never survive as a group until we get into communities and not neighborhoods. A community is, I control the police, the banks, the schools, the firefighters, and I control the flow of the money. And I have no problem when I go in a Jewish neighborhood and the shop owners are Jewish, and I go into an Italian neighborhood and the shop owners are Italian. I have a problem when I come in a black neighborhood and the shop owners is not me. A Korean has a right to come in and buy my shop for $30 million more than it's worth. That's good business. But if we decide that we're not going to do business with that one, then he'll have to sell it back, or she'll have to sell it back to a black person for $1 million. And then the money circulates, and that's how you change. We've been so busy dealing with the hurt and the pain and the misery and glamorizing a hand few that have made it, that we have never really looked at, like they say, your role model. If you haven't got a role model in your house, you should fall on your knees and pray to God, because something is wrong.
Yes.
And so I would say to young folks, it's not about alcohol, but it's hard for me to say that to you when a 5-year-old got to reach past mama's beer and papa's wine to get some mayonnaise. I would also say to young folks that the number one drug that will wipe you out is not cocaine, it's not heroin, it's marijuana. And they deliberately make that a recreation drug, but it stays in the muscles, it stays in the blood, and it will wipe out your memory bank. And also, this is the first time in the history of TB that TB has always been known as poor folks. It's the first time that TB is not running rampant in the ghetto. It's running rampant in middle income white America, because it's the marijuana that they spray, and that's no accident. And so I would just say to young folks, you have to reevaluate everything you've been taught. I would say to
What do you say? It's the
black folks that
TV?
just because a black person is 90 years old don't mean they have
Like
wisdom.
television?
And you need to listen to them, because if you was dumb and stupid when you was 9, you dumb and stupid when you 90.
What is he talking about? TV?
He talked about a lot of shit in that 5 minutes.
When was this made?
This video is from 2010.
I swear this feel like this was.
It's probably longer than that, but this video is from 2010. So this is, somebody actually wrote them all down. Let's just go over them real quick. Be thankful you survive in this wicked world. 1. Establish a legit business. 2. Establish a community. 3. Reevaluate everything you've been taught. 4. Old age does not mean wisdom. 5.
If you were stupid when you was 9, you're stupid and dumb when you're 90. I like that. I like that. I don't know. It makes sense.
A lot of it's true. I mean, a lot of it is 100% true. He's right about the business.
I mean, I'm sure he's got a point about whatever they're spraying on marijuana, so it will take your memory out, especially people smoking out of God knows what.
Actual. Then something else.
I do like how he came up with the idea of creating a corporation, 10 people coming together, hire someone to be a CEO. That makes sense. I never thought about that. That makes sense.
Talk to you about the partnership I'm in.
Huh?
I gotta talk to you about the partnership I'm in. That's all.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Never thought of it, but it does make sense.
I know another group of people that actually bought a restaurant like that too.
It makes sense. I mean, everybody put like 10 bands in, and You got 100 bands, and you can buy something. And then in 5 or 10 years, when that business turns, like you'll be good. That makes sense. I got a new goal for 2023. Buying something. Darren, we're buying something. Get your 10 grand ready.
That actually reminds me of a good quote Angela Yee just said. EYL. I don't know if there was their podcast or what they put out, but on your leisure. And they had said, she had said, every like 10 years or 5 years, she'll just buy something new, like buy a new property or something, because she said money shouldn't just stay in the bank. It really doesn't do nothing in the bank. Makes sense to me.
It was on your leisure.
Yeah, I believe so.
What's next, Rob?
So we can wrap up. We're over at hour mark, or we can hit this homophobic thing real quick.
We could do this real quick if y'all want. This will end with a little controversy, because okay, first of all, let's see where we stand politically. Right. I am a conservative liberal, so I'm a little bit to the left of the middle, if that makes sense.
I don't know where I'm at.
You don't know where you stand?
I'm probably more conservative these days.
You're more conservative than me, you think?
I'm probably more conservative these days.
Okay, Rob, what do you think?
I feel like I honestly don't know where I'm at politically. I feel like I lean towards conservative, but I still I don't know. I feel like everybody says they're in the middle. I feel like I'm in the middle though.
Yeah, ultimately, I feel the same way. I would say I'm conservative, but at the same thing, when I was just talking about the transgender, I think what I was saying, most conservatives would be like, hell no. Like, would be like, nah. They should not be in the
yeah.
At most, give them their own lead, but hell no, don't do it.
I'm a little bit to the left, but I'm not. I'm very forward thinking. But okay, so this man is a preacher, doing air quotes for those of you listening, and he is expressing what he believes to be God's truth. Now, I am a learned child of the Bible, and I can tell you what this man is speaking of. Some parts are within the Bible, but some parts I feel like he is exaggerating. And at the end of the day, the good book states that Jesus died for our sins, and that as long as we believe in him, all things will be good, and that love is the key. So let's go ahead and watch this. Get ready, Darren.
And the title of my sermon this evening is Homo Pox.
And this was brought to you by the friendlyatheist.com, by the way.
Friendlyatheist.com.
Just so you know.
Need to know that for sure.
Homo Pox. Now, today is the first service that we have in the month of June. And so we really got to kick off this wicked month where these homos and these will celebrate pride.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't.
Oh, this nigga wild.
Oh yeah, he's wild, bro.
Oh, this nigga wild.
This is wild.
But they censored it, so it's okay.
I don't want some handling my food at a restaurant. You know,
No, this nigga wild.
Yo, keep going, bro.
Just let it play out.
Even, you know, if you hand a card out to some and he tells you I'm a homo, I don't want that card back. You can keep it. I don't want it back. I don't want to take the chance. You know, I don't want to be even remotely close to these disgusting, vile reprobates.
Yo, dog. So this is when you hit your partner or whoever you came with, your child's like, oh yeah, bro, we gotta go. We gotta go.
What is a reprobate?
Just hold on.
Sorry.
These dogs. That's what they are. They're dogs. They'll literally go after anything.
Okay.
That's
so
wild.
this man stated in this that he did not want to even pay a waiter with his debit credit card if they told him that they were homosexual, because he didn't want to take the chance of dealing with them, is what he said.
What does he mean dealing with them?
Because he doesn't want to take the chance of becoming infected with their quote unquote gayness. That's what I got from this.
What the fuck?
Now, if that doesn't sound like some stupid backwater trash to me,
He think that
and this man is leading congregations, live streaming, getting donations. People believe this shit.
damn, bro.
That this is the world we live in.
This is wild.
People are out here with so much hate and just misinformation.
You can get infected and be gay.
Like people believe this when they go to church, and these people go to church, whatever their pastor tells them, that's it. They believe that. They tell their children tell their children, like this is what's happening.
Fuck all that shit. And y'all wonder why people, man, see,
And for the record, gay people, you don't become gay from being touched. That's not how fuck it works. You can't give someone your debit card and become a gay. Like that's
Gay
not
isn't
how it
COVID.
works. Like that's not how it
it's
works.
not COVID. Thank you.
For the record, that's not how it works. Like these people have families, these people have loved ones, these people have dogs, these people pay bills, these people pay taxes. Like it's never like this. You let people live. Like I'm disgusted to say I'm a Christian and see this type of hate and animosity being spewed.
But
That's not what Jesus is for.
This is the
Come
same
on.
way they talked about black people, though. They use
Which is-
Christianity against black people.
It's crazy. It's crazy. None of
It's
this
crazy
is
how
written
people
in the
can
Bible.
change like the words in the Bible to fit their narrative.
And it's not even the words. The words are in there, and they talk about Sodom and Gomorrah every time we talk about gay people and all this other stuff. Yes, Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed. Yes, Sodom and Gomorrah also had some wild things going on. They were very gender fluid, but they were also doing crazy shit. They were fucking pigs. They were over there cutting people's heads off. They were putting people's heads on. They were a crazy, vile nation. It's not just because they're gay or not because they were having a gender fluid like relations. And that's what these people that are just, I feel like these people are just so afraid of their sexuality. I think they're just so afraid of change. They're just I think they're just afraid.
I think that's you live in the most weirdest place if you're afraid of change. This country is the most adapting to change, I would say. Not even adapting. We're just quickly changing. I won't say we adapt to it quick. We just change.
Well,
period. Taxis went to Ubers. Like that.
I think the change though is different because it's a change in the power balance. Historically, white males were dominant in every aspect. Now you have black people doing their wives in front of them while they're recording. You have gay people having more rights and women leaving their white husbands and going with other women and things like that. And I think that is what causes this hate and this cloud of miasma that they're
And
spreading.
that's your fault. That's their own false power.
And not saying it's only happening to white men. Like I'm sure there's men all over the world that this happens to. But I feel like it is men who are afraid of change that causes this because it's not just in America. Like you can't be gay in most of the world. Like and that's because of men who are in power being afraid of God knows what. But that's how I feel. Thoughts?
What you do that's not
Hold on, Darren, you froze. I
Go
can't
ahead,
even hear you.
Shannon.
Give me a second.
Go ahead and
Yeah,
refresh
Darren,
it.
you're going to have to exit and come back.
Your head's still shining. I'll tell you that though.
To your point, LA, though, there aren't a lot of other countries in the world where you're allowed to be gay. America is actually kind of special for that you're able to be able to express yourself how you want it to be, especially in recent years with gay marriage being allowed and whatnot. You are right about that.
I don't know. I feel like it could just be a lot easier. And it's not like people being whatever they are doesn't cause any issues. Like in the workforce, if I were gay and I went to work every day, there would be no issues. Like I don't care, pause, how much dick I sucked the night before. Like me going to work and doing my job does not get affected in any way, shape, or form. Now, if I'm going to work and being a problem, yes, it will it will be negative, but that has nothing to do with my sexual
Like if people
orientation.
going to work and just being mad sassy to everybody.
Not even. Yeah, but like if I was there, like just breaking shit or stealing shit in a very sexy way, like yeah, it'll be a problem. But if uh, like, there's no way you giving me my debit card at a restaurant is gonna be.
That shit's ignorance, dog.
I just.
It is, and it's one of those things that's it's a learned behavior. Like I guarantee you, he heard that from his dad or maybe his mom growing up at during lunch or after church.
Someone
every day.
told him. Someone
And
told
they,
him that dumb shit.
People are stupid. People are just fucking stupid.
hate is definitely is a learned behavior. You learn that.
And then all this shit spews and coagulates and becomes rhetoric, and then people who are running for office are spewing these things, and people believe them, and they get on a national pedestal, a national pulpit, and it's over with. Like these people have millions of views.
I feel like if you gay, it's not necessarily who makes it. It's not. I'm not gonna judge you off of off you being gay. I'm gonna judge you off of everything else.
Like I mean,
If you're a fucked up person, I'm gonna say you're a fucked up person. I don't give a fuck what you do behind closed doors. I'm gonna say you're a fucked up person. If you're a good person, bet that's a good person.
for example, there was a dude in Columbus not too long ago going around killing gay people. He'd meet them on Grindr and kill them off the app, right?
So that's kind of weird.
It's real weird. Now, when they put like the little thing online, they said they called him like the gay murderer or something like that. I'm like, first of all, it was something along those lines. I'm like, first of all, why he gotta be a gay murderer? Like, he's just a fucking murderer, bro. Like
Well,
what do
because
you
he was
mean?
specifically seeking out gay people. That's why.
How do you know that?
That's what
That
you said.
motherfucker probably. I'm saying, but that's what he got caught doing. How do you know he wasn't killing people before?
LA, if you set up a Grinder app just to meet people so you can kill them, you're a gay murderer.
How do you know he wasn't killing people on Grindr, Tinder, Bumble? He just ain't get caught.
Grindr is a gay app. What are you talking about?
But what I'm saying
we'll
is,
figure it out from there. You're the first Grinder killer, but I'm not gonna call you the gay killer.
I'm just saying, how do you know he wasn't also killing people on Tinder, on Bumble, on all these other apps? It's just
a fucking murderer.
How do you know he just didn't get caught?
You're a social dating murderer.
How you know he just
But
didn't get caught?
If a person was specifically seeking out black people to kill, you're killing black people. You're not just a murderer. You're killing black people. That makes it's the difference between making a hate crime and a regular murder. Does that make more sense?
What I'm saying though is, what if he just wasn't caught and he has more killings?
So you're saying it was just a coincidence that he killed gay people?
That the two gay people that he killed and got caught killing.
Ultimately, he's a murderer. I don't give a fuck.
But maybe he murdered more people. Maybe he murdered anybody who had bigger feet than him.
So from a law standpoint, it's literally the difference if it's a hate crime or not, and that can give him more years since it's a hate crime.
But what I'm saying is, maybe there was a couple people he met on Grindr he didn't kill because they had smaller feet than him. All I'm saying is, how do you know he only killed gay people? All I'm saying. That's it.
You gotta ask the man, why would you do this? Is there something else?
Anyone
with your victim
11
that we
feet
don't know.
Dead.
A couple years back, there was this couple that went to a child's birthday party, and they started harassing the family. It was a black family. They went into their backyard, started harassing the family, and I believe they killed somebody at the party, and they got charged with a hate crime.
The family?
No, the murderers.
No, neighbors.
Oh.
Dog, I don't even know if they were neighbors. They were driving by in their truck or whatever, saw the party, and went over there and started harassing them in their backyard.
You get shot.
And they got charged for a hate crime because they're harassing those black people like that.
Not a murder.
No, I'm pretty sure they got life because they killed somebody.
Gotcha.
Boy, you got some testicles.
A child's birthday party.
Run up on somebody's. You could just run up on somebody's motherfucking backyard, let alone when there's children.
You can try it. I always tell niggas.
I promise you, there's gonna always be one parent nowadays that's just like, yeah, I got this. Worst case scenario, some shit happen, I got this.
I always try to tell niggas you can try it. Let's see what happens.
All right, guys. I think that's a good note to wrap up on. So thank you guys for listening to another episode of the Purple Pill Podcast. We'll see you guys next week. Also, make sure you guys like and subscribe down below and hit that bell button so you can get notifications.
Get some ice. It's gonna be a hot week.
Definitely get that ice.